we are going to continue the process here, and we'll hear from Nicolas is joining us as well today, right? Joining us from the CSport team. Now, I know Nicolas is usually flying around the world, so we don't know exactly where he might be today. Yeah. But Nicolas, where are you joining us from today, sir?
Well, it's been a few busy weeks. I've been everywhere. I had a race last week, so finally able to join you guys. But right now I'm in London.
In London, England. So, Nicolas, just so everyone knows, you know, you're building this platform, but in the daytime, right? I know that you're a little bit younger than the typical founder. So tell us a little bit about your age and what you do professionally, just because the audience can understand. Go ahead.
So, well, I'm a 17-year-old racing driver, currently racing the European Le Mans Series category in LMP3. So I've been traveling a lot, and actually last week just won the 4 hours of Barcelona. So we are back.
Congratulations. Congratulations. So whilst most people at 17 are just going through school and getting by, you are obviously being educated, but you're a race driver and an entrepreneur founder of the CSport platform. So you know, I just thought I would acknowledge that. It's great to you know, early on in life, right? You know, there's so much zest to life and a lot of learnings, life learnings that you can have as an entrepreneur when you start early. So I want to acknowledge and thank you for joining us. Now, Nicolas, what we're doing, this is not race car driving, but we do have a time limit, and we're going to try to make sure we package your elevator pitch in 1 minute. Okay, right?
All good.
So we want to hear about it, and what I'll do is I will introduce myself. Okay. And I want to find out more about what you're going to do, but we'll have 1 minute and we'll give you some feedback, right? Because Nicolas, it's always about elevating and getting more feedback points through to what you're doing, and we'll go from there. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Okay. So we'll just make sure we have all the audio, all audio elements are there. You can hear me okay, Nicolas?
I can hear you fine.
All right. All right. Let's rock and roll. Okay. Hi, Nicolas. I am Kimi Räikkönen's son, and I'm looking to invest in racing or just sports and interesting startups. Tell me about what you're working on, sir. Go ahead.
So, hello, Ash. Well, first, let me introduce myself. I'm Nicolas Pino. I'm a 17-year-old racing driver and founder of CSport, where I'm the chief strategy and speed of the company, where today, of course, as you might know, as a owner of a basketball team and son of a Formula One racing driver, there's a competitive space in sports, and also today sports inspire the world and have historically inspired the world and people to do more. But 99% of families today can't finance a professional athlete career, and there's a lot of talent lost in that process. And in CSport, we are digitalizing all the assets of the athletes, allowing them to connect with the different stakeholders and investors, fans, to finance their career, and also allowing those users to live a new experience within sports, which today are distant to, and opening a new market inside this, allowing all these young talents to finance their career and also allowing them to grow together and have better futures. At the same time, we are opening and allowing these users a new way to interact with the athletes via GameFi dynamics, social-fi dynamics, and also DeFi dynamics through a Web3 app that we are building CSport.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Nicolas, how can I help you?
Today, we are raising a $2 million first closing for a future $4 million closing in order to develop the platform under the Web3 app on Solana to later introduce it to the market and allowing people around the world to let them know about the project, and also introduce more young athletes.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Nicolas. Let's get some feedback for Nicolas on his startup, right? I know that there's been some good feedback. A lot of people like your idea. I'm just looking at the comments right now, but let's give him feedback to elevate himself and improve. So Nicolas, let's talk. I want to talk a little bit about the platform itself. Okay. My question to you relates to, when we think about your platform, if I understand correctly, there's a bit of, there's a lot of people that have aspirational elements for their children, right? They want them to become a professional tennis player. We all know, like Lewis Hamilton, right? I guess that's the best example in racing, correct? Where, because of his background, right, he had to deal with not just race issues, but he also had to deal with the financial issues because he didn't come from a lot of money, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And he was just that good that he was able to move up the ranks. We see this in tennis. We also see this in like developing markets, because there's people that live in the developing world, right? Like Lewis Hamilton in the UK, in the United Kingdom. You also have athletes, for instance, baseball players in the Dominican Republic, right? That have no money. They just don't have any, you know what I mean? Their families are struggling, but they're really talented players, right? So I wanted to kind of understand, like, how big is this market? That's kind of where my mind was, because I started thinking about all the people that could leverage this. So I wanted to know how big the market is. How do you play a role in the equation, right? Because you have a Web3 platform. Are you guys taking a fee as part of the journey? And then finally, like, how much can they expect to earn and interact, right? Tell me a little bit about these three things. Go ahead, Nicolas.
So there is two types of market actually in this industry. For one side, we have the sports market that only in football or soccer for the US guys are about $400 billion. And then we got the NFT market that is the currently known market, about $21 billion last year. And we are introducing a new market into the sports, also joining the current one, where we are about expecting to, of course, increase both of them by also, and then winning by the current fees of success when the athletes raise money and each transaction inside the platform.
Got it. Got it. Now, would it be fair to say that part of your market is the amateur sports development? Do you get what I'm saying? Because you have the sports as a whole at $400 billion. Do you think that it would be better focused to think about amateur sports development, all of the money and everything associated with that?
In our platform, we are not only focusing on the young talents, but in fact, about 85% of superstars in sports end up bankrupt at about 4, 5, 6 years once they end their career, because they don't know how to, they don't have that financial experience, and most of them, they just quit school, they like parties, stuff like that. So a lot of them end up bankrupt. And this sport, as we digitalize all their incomes, all their assets, we allow them to make money once they start as an amateur athlete with a dream in the path, and also for the superstars that are already consolidated to continue having that passive income in some way in order to secure their future. Got
it. So would it be safe to say, Nicolas, and this is how I'm listening to what you're doing and the way I'm approaching this, would it be safe to say that you are creating the next generation sports agent smart sports agent that's going to help manage the lifetime value of and potential of the athlete. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say. And actually, our concept is already being validated by other platforms, but none of them has joined everything in one piece. Ones have the gamification and all the interaction between the users and the athletes. One have the investing into the athletes, but none of them join them together and generate that constant interaction and also the fun of the sports. Because with CSport, you can, as a user, you can be like your idols, you can win like them, and also you can be part of their process, where you can start, of course, make money by your actions. There is a platform that is actually also done by a Chilean founder, that is Betterfly, that is already proven that concept. Then you got Stepping, that where Sequoia Capital already invested, that has that move and earn dynamics. And then you got Moonshot, that allows you to invest in athletes. And by this means, I also see in the chat, where can anyone apply? Any athlete can apply into this platform in order to present their projects, and people can invest in them. And by doing that, we are opening a new market to normal users, fans, investors, that is not open to anyone. Today, only brands, teams or families can get into that little world. But today we are opening it to anyone, and also allowing the athletes to finance the career through people around the world.
Sure. Now, my question to you, Nicolas, is that where do you want to start off, though, right? Because, you know, the sporting industry is so massive. Do you feel like it would be better to start off with a certain market segment? You know, because you have athletes before their prime and after their prime, right? You're helping them through their whole journey. Do you feel like there's a place to start with, though, right? Because you know, you want to make sure that you have the right people, right? Like platform plays are always, it's like a nightclub, right? Do you know what I mean? When you have a nightclub, and you're too young to go to nightclubs right now, okay, Nicolas, because you're only 17, okay? But when you get a little bit older, you'll be going to nightclubs. And what happens is the example, I like to use the term, everyone remembers nightclubs, but you know, they have like the dance floor, and the dance floor needs to have a certain, you know, pretty girls are on the dance floor, and then, you know, the men come and they're buying drinks, and you kind of have this platform play, right? It works, right? My question to you, right? I feel like it would be important for you to consider where you start. How do you make sure that when you start off, you have the right types of high potential athletes that really excite the audience, and you get that product market fit, right?
So we are starting by the both extremes, from the young athletes, and also the consolidated stars. In this first 2 million round, we are mostly focusing on investors, of course, that can add value to the project, and athletes, where we are opening a big network of athletes that can, of course, invest in the project, but at the same time, bring young athletes into the platform in order to present them and to make it part of the process, and allowing them to make the platform CSport visible to the world, to create that trust that the concept works.
Got it. Understood.
And of course, we are mainly focusing to launch this with football and motorsport, because they are the two places where the team has the experience.
Okay. You know, we talked about there was this thing about 99% of professional athletes. There was a statistic that you shared earlier, Nicolas. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
So creating a professional athlete career, or financing a professional athlete career, no matter what the sport, is very expensive. Actually, there's about an investment to be done in a professional athlete, about $60,000 that you have to invest a year only on preparation. And there's no average family that can afford those costs.
Yeah.
in order to finance their career. So
Yes.
just starting by that, without including travel, stay, food,
Yes.
there is no family today that can finance a professional athlete.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talent there lost just because of the money.
Yeah. Do you think governments would be interested in what you're doing as well? Because if you're successful and you're empowering and providing these elements, are there any other stakeholders like governments that might be interested to support you?
So in this initial space, we are starting with those prospects that I just mentioned with athletes and different, for example, football teams. But then in the future, we are, for example, thinking or like brands like Adidas, Puma, whatever, that can be like some sort of sponsor or investor in the
Sure.
the platform that will also promote their brand by the move and earn dynamic
Movement.
that we
Yeah.
are promoting, where people can run and they can buy their Puma shoes bust to produce more tokens.
Of course. Of course. Very interesting, Nicolas, very interesting what you're working on. My last question for you is around your Web3, right? Because you said that you're building this all on a Web3 perspective. Tell me about the economics of your Web3 platform. Are they introducing a token? Are they going to sell a token? How does it work? Tell us a little bit more about that so the audience can learn.
So a lot of people, there's a very good question, starting by why we are doing it on Web3. We are developing this platform on Web3 and not the Web2 that is the most logical or simplest way to start. Because with Web3, if I'm an athlete from Chile, anyone in the world can invest on my project, no matter the limitations or barriers there is, with full transparency and no limits in that area. Then inside the platform, we are going to have two types of token. From one side, we have the CSPT, CSport token, that will give governance to the platform and also will allow all transactions inside it. And then we have the Rocket token, for like movie Rocky, where is the move and earn dynamic, where people, based on their actions, on the well-being actions, sports, they can produce that token. They can buy busts inside the Rocky token place or the move and earn, and they can also transform it back into CSPT and invest inside the platform in order to create a good flow inside it.
So, Nicolas, as we're speaking together, right? There's people that, when I do the elevator pitch back, some people find that sometimes the pitch that I give back has elements, right, that improve your elevator pitch. And part of that is just kind of understanding where you're actually going with this, right? And I have a question for you. Do you feel like that as part of your platform, right? As I understand it now, the athlete themselves become an NFT, right? And
Exactly.
they might have sub NFTs related to like, hey, here's a photo of me doing something. But when I'm young, if I am an up and coming football player from Chelsea and I make myself an NFT on your platform, and I can have sub NFTs happening, but people can invest in me and derive future income streams, right? Like if I'm very successful, right? And this does happen in like elite sports, right? Like the Williams tennis sisters, right?
Yeah.
There's people where they'll go get trained by them for 2 years, and then 10% of their income for their lifetime goes to that trainer. Does that make sense, Nicolas? And that's what is that fair?
Inside CSport, we have three types of NFTs. From one side, the income share agreement NFT, or we name it in a more in a different
Sure,
way, bring
sure.
together NFT where the athletes can present their project and the people can invest in them. Then we have the 3D digital pieces that today is like Sorare, Chilis.com, which is like the border, but we have to include it. And then we have the experience NFT, where athletes can include an experience and people can buy and they can live it.
So, but Nicolas, like the reason I bring this up, this income sharing NFT, okay, I think is very powerful. When we start off, right? Like, when the person's starting off, you're betting on the potential of that person, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like that element and drawing the example of how elite athletes like the Williams sisters, right? And what you're doing is you're opening that opportunity to everybody, okay? Not just to the elite, right? When we think about Web3 and web in general, it's about democratizing, right? Bringing things back and kind of driving these elements through. And so I want to make sure that we get these components articulated, right, Nicolas? Because I feel like that's really powerful, right? You know what I mean? That one element to say that the athlete is now the NFT. Do you know what I mean? It's not like LeBron James just slam dunking. Do you get what I'm saying? That's rare, right? It's about you tokenizing the athlete and driving that income share opportunity and allowing anyone, right? Like somebody can give 100 pesos, okay? Do you know what I mean? Somebody can give £5 and suddenly believe in that person. And if they're successful, there's an income stream for them later on as well. Okay. But opening that up, right? Nicolas, that is very powerful. Yeah. I feel like that is kind of the element. So you're looking for $2 million, correct?
We are looking for $6 million in two closings. The first closing is at 2 million, and then
2 and 4. Yeah. 2 and 4
million. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Nicolas, would you like me to pitch your idea to you? Huh? Okay. So I'm gonna pitch the idea back, and you're looking for 2 + 4 mil for this project. Focusing. Okay, let me see if I can do this. All right, Nicolas, here goes. You got to introduce yourself though, okay? So you get to be, you could be whoever you want. You introduce yourself and I'll pitch the idea back. All right, go ahead.
To be that I'm looking for a new way to invest in young talents in motorsport. I'm very limited and I don't have much time. So show me your idea and what you're developing.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Singh and I'm part of the CSports team. You might not know this, but 99% of parents, okay, cannot tangibly afford to actually afford raising a professional athlete. It costs around $60,000 a year for a child to kind of leverage and succeed in professional sports, and it's left for just the elite, right? And so in motorsports and football, it's the elite people that get access to it. Our platform, the CSports platform, is built to democratize this and find the best talent around the world and give them a fair chance to become professional sports athletes. And the way we do it is we've created a platform where the athlete themselves become an NFT. And we allow anyone, whether it's a young baseball player in the Dominican Republic, okay, a young footballer in Brazil, okay, or a race car driver from an underdeveloped, underprivileged household in the United Kingdom, to put them on our platform as an NFT and allow their community, no matter where they are, to have a future income agreement. People can bet on them, invest in them with small and large amounts of money to make sure that they have the right resources to succeed. And our hope is we become that next generation smart sports agent to manage the revenue and the lifetime value of the athlete before, during their prime, and after their prime. Okay. We're looking for $6 million, starting off with a $2 million raise to create this next generation platform. I am an athlete myself and have had some success in this space, and I benefited from this, and I want to chat to you more about how you can participate. Thank you.
No, that's great.
All right. So Nicolas, I was bringing that you heard my punchline, right? The punchline around the athlete as an NFT, right? And that income sharing element, right? I want to bring that in because I feel like it's a real power statement. Okay.
No, that was really good. Yeah.
Right.
No, thank you
so
very
Nicolas,
much.
I want to thank you again and again. Congratulations on your recent racing success. Let's make sure that the CSport platform succeeds as well. And we look forward to it as part of the Hyper Accelerator. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.